Today I'm going to take just a couple of minutes of your time to introduce you to the process of the initial configuration of the Infinibox for NAS services. We'll begin by logging in as an administrator. Once inside the UI of the Infinibox, I'll simply go to Settings, I'll select Network Interfaces, and I will create a port group. I'll give it a simple name. I will select the 2 ports on each controller that I have run to my switches to configure an LACP bond with. When I click on Create for all nodes, it will assume that those 2 ports are run on each of the controllers to create an independent bond on each of the controllers. And as you can see, I have PG1, ETH1, and ETH2 configured in a bond. Each subordinate port is identified with MAC address and a patch panel port number for that node. So once I've verified that these bonds are okay and enabled, I am ready to move on to the next step. I'll simply go to the Create widget and I will create a network space for NAS. I'll choose NFS as the service. I can select my MTU at MTU 1500 or MTU 9000, and I will select from the drop-downs the port group that I created for my NAS services. Once that's done, I can select Next. Here I will populate the network that I will select IPs from for NFS export access. I'll choose my net mask. I'll add a default gateway if I need to. It's optional. And I'll add the IPs, the 6 IPs that I will use for NAS service across the controllers. And this provides us with 2 virtual IPs on each of the controllers, and in the event of a controller failure, those 2 virtual IPs that were on that controller will very quickly fail over to the 2 surviving controllers, giving us even distribution of I/O, and those clients will continue to access data on those exports. So once that is done, and I can ping the addresses defined in that network address space, I can simply go to Volumes and File Systems and create a file system within a pool that I've defined on the Infinibox. Now, as with all things, if you have any further questions, I strongly recommend you navigate to the Infinidat support site, where you can scroll down to Infinibox documentation, and you can review our Infinibox best practice guides. You will simply download Network Connectivity Guide and the NAS Service Guide that will give you full details on our best practice recommendations for NAS and NAS configuration to give you the best NFS experience in the industry. Thank you very much for your time today.